Hey, if you're a network marketer who is struggling to build relationships with prospects who you don't know anything about on social media, this video is for you. And if we haven't met, my name is Edita. I'm from VIE now. I'm a network marketer like you. I love network marketing, but I hate prospecting. That's a problem. I hate chasing people. I hate approaching strangers to ask them to have a look at my stuff. So I was struggling, and it was that way until I found a way to get qualified prospects to get in touch with me instead. And that's what I talk about at VIE now. And if you would like to learn how to recruit new team members without having to prospect, chase, and without having to feel awkward, you can grab my 3-step formula at viesnow.com/3 steps. The link is in the description of this video. And today I want to talk about building relationships with people who you consider your prospects and who you don't know anything about. And the question is where to start, or how do you approach building relationships in general. So I guess the first thing probably that comes to the mind of most network marketers is that relationship building is something that you do one-on-one. You know, you get in touch with them on the messenger if we are talking about social media. You know, you start a conversation, you ask questions, and you get to know them, and then you take it from there. However, this is not the only way to build relationships. You can be as well building relationships one-to-many, on a one-to-many basis. And if you think about it, all the famous names that you like and follow in network marketing, in any other business, people who have lots of followers, what are they doing? They're not chatting with all these followers on the one-on-one basis. They are actually talking to them one-to-many. And like myself, now what am I doing actually? I'm doing this video one-to-many. And, because you are watching this video, you know me a little better. You know what I'm about. You might like or might not like what I'm talking about, which kind of pre-qualifies you, in some way, and so on. So I want to talk about 4 benefits of building relationships that way, one-to-many. So first of all is attraction. And actually, yeah, so the mechanism is actually, like this video is creating content, is publishing content on a consistent basis that your audience consumes. And somebody who's a stranger finds you in some way and starts consuming your content. And I call this kind of relationship building, kind of pre-building, because when you come to talking to this person on, one-on-one, if they get in touch with you, or if you want to get in touch with them for whatever reason, guess what? They already know you to some degree, and they already might like you and trust you. And just based on your content, and I kind of have also another name for this. It's passive relationship building. Passive from your point of view. There's no sitting actively, chatting real time. So it's kind of a passive. And the benefits are, the first one that I mentioned is attraction. So if you're passively building relationships, which is consistently posting content that resonates with your audience, with individual people in your audience, guess what? if it resonates with them, if it's relevant to them, if it solves their problems, if it helps them, or entertains or inspires them, that will attract them to you. So you don't have to go chasing. You post the content that is relevant to your audience, to your target market, if you have identified it, right? And your content, your communication one-to-many will attract them to you. The other thing is, I mentioned, the other benefit of that is that it really pre-qualifies people passively. So you don't have to ask them, 1,000 questions, chatting on a messenger, getting involved in these long conversations that very often lead nowhere. They feel awkward, they feel uncomfortable, but when you post your content, and if somebody, just imagine if somebody comments on your post that is designed for your target market, do you think that person is already kind of, qualified himself or herself for you as your ideal prospect? I think so. That's how it works. So if something, now it's a mistake to think that just because somebody didn't comment or didn't like your post, as in didn't put that reaction on your post, it doesn't mean they're not your ideal prospects. Some people just don't like to do anything, to communicate like that, So, but basically, if your post resonates with your target market, with your audience, that post will pre-qualify your ideal prospects, and it's great. It's so much, heavy lifting done for you just because you are talking, one-to-many as opposed to the messenger. The other benefit is obviously efficiency and more time freedom. You don't have to be running all the, 66 conversations every day, getting confused who you are talking to, what you said to whom, like it used to happen to me. I ended up tracking everyone in a spreadsheet that was still confusing and just didn't feel right in the first place. So obviously, when you are consistent and you do it for a while, people start connecting with you by themselves. They start sharing your stuff with their colleagues, their friends. People start connecting with you automatically, and it's much easier for you. And also you can develop a strategy. You can develop a strategy as to what and when you post, what you want to talk about, what you want to say, what you want to teach. And it's not push marketing. You're not asking them for anything. You're not asking them, to be your friend and to look at your video. One-on-one basis, you can do it in the post, but it feels completely different if you do it the right way. When you provide value first. And the final benefit I want to talk about is the leverage. So when you start attracting, so basically it's known by the experts that prospecting has next to zero, leverage, as in you have to always be involved in talking to people one-on-one, and there is a limited number of people who can actually talk to every day, and that number maybe it can increase to some degree as you kind of get more skilled, but there's still ceiling, for that number. But when you talk one-to-many, and when you talk to them by posting useful content, and your audience starts growing, and when it picks up, you can't stop it, So that kind of communication with your audience has a way bigger leverage. And what happens is that when one day one person, gets in touch with you and says, I liked your post, what do you do, or can we talk about it, and so on. Maybe you wait for a week for the next person to get in touch with you, but then there will be a few people every single day getting in touch with you, asking about your business, for more stuff, about what you do or about your products, and the beauty of this is as well that the conversation, when they get in touch with you, is completely different, and also they are qualified prospects. They know what you're doing, they're not gonna throw objections at you, and it's usually, when it happened to me, it was like a no-brainer. I had a very quick conversation to enroll somebody. They didn't ask too many questions. They didn't need a lot of information from me, and they liked network marketing already, and so on. So on that note, I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, feel free to grab my 3-step formula to recruit new team members without having to prospect, chase, and feel awkward at viesnow.com/3 steps. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow again. Bye now.